It's 6:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. A man who was jailed for 9 years for the attempted rape of an elderly Lake Macquarie woman has lost an appeal to reduce his sentence. Michael Kendall was drunk when he wandered into a retirement village in July 2012 and tried to attack the 71-year-old woman in her unit. He claimed the sentence was too severe, but the Court of Criminal Appeal has rejected his claim. New South Wales Greens MP John Kay and Wallsend Greens candidate Aliona Swedgen are calling for Newcastle Council to reorganise their priorities after not delivering on their 2009 promise to implement a flood plan into downtown Wallsend. The Greens say they're putting the profits of developers first by spending $100 million to relocate the tram line, but won't first protect its citizens from the impact of future disasters. John Kay says the state government needs to invest in the future of Wallsend.
It's time for the New South Wales government to step up to put at least $25 million into the future of Wallsend to make sure that people there know that if another flood happens, they'll have the best possible protection.
The RSPCA is warning dog owners in the Hunter about a spike in parvovirus cases. Dogs have been falling sick across Lake Macquarie as well as Cessnock, Maitland and Singleton. Puppies and unvaccinated dogs are at high risk of contracting the highly contagious virus, which is usually common over summer. Dungog Council has received some much-needed funding to replace one of the Shire's most dilapidated bridges. $325,000 has been allocated from the federal government's Bridges Renewal Program to replace the timber bridge on Wordens Road near Clarencetown with a dual-lane concrete bridge. Patterson MP Bob Baldwin says the funding will be matched dollar for dollar by council.
I'm glad to announce we're putting $325,000 towards replacement of this temporary bridge at Wardens Road. It's much needed by the community. It's much supported by Dungog Council, and I look forward to working with them.
It remains a lot easier to find somewhere to rent in Newcastle than other major centres across the state. The rental vacancy rate has climbed slightly to 2.7%, which is slightly higher than Sydney and Wollongong. The Real Estate Institute says 50% of the new high-density housing developments in the CBD have been purchased by investors who in turn are looking for tenants. Newcastle charities will have the opportunity to obtain funding for projects to make a lasting difference as the Hunter-based Greater Charitable Foundation's annual funding round opens this week. A minimum of $75,000 to a maximum of $500,000 is up for grabs to a deserving charitable organisation, with applications closing on March 20. Greater Charitable Foundation CEO Anne Long says the foundation already supports a number of deserving programs in the Hunter.
So the previously funded partners and current partners include Hunter Medical Research Institute, whose stroke trials we're currently funding at the moment. Also, the Autism Spectrum School at Thornton, we support an early intervention program which is run from that school.
Now with sport, Emily Crow.
Former Newcastle Jets star Joel Griffiths could be set to make his A-League return with the Wellington Phoenix in the coming weeks. Griffiths was one of the 5 Jets players sacked following a failed player-led movement to remove coach Phil Stubbins. The 35-year-old is the second exiled Jets player to sign with an A-League rival, with former captain Q Yarleens making his debut with Melbourne City over the weekend. Michael Hogan has been ruled out for a Sheffield Shield appearance at Newcastle's number 1 sports ground from tomorrow following a hamstring injury. The 33-year-old fast bowler suffered the injury late on the final day of Western Australia's Shield game against South Australia. Hogan says he was more excited to play in Newcastle than he has been for any game in the past 6 years. And the Newcastle Knights will hold an open training session this morning from 7:30am at Hunter TAFE's Newcastle campus. The session is open for the general public to attend. That's sport. I'm Emily Crow.
To NURFN News Time, 26 to 7.